What's going on, guys? Myles here, Nomad Millionaire, and today I wanted to talk to you about the 7 most important things that I wish I knew when I was starting Amazon FBA as a beginner. So these are the things that I have learned over the last year and a half of selling on FBA and growing my business to 7 figures per year. And they're also the things that people normally ask me about, but maybe don't realize the answer to, or maybe don't realize just how important they really are. So without further ado, let's get into it with number 1, which is to think as your customer would. Be your customer and put yourself in your customer's shoes. Because I can guarantee that you're gonna be writing up your Amazon listing, doing all the copy, optimizing it on your desktop. I want you to stop that, or at least take out your mobile phone, go on Amazon, on the Amazon shopping app, and look at your listing through the eyes of your customer, because more than 50% of people are browsing Amazon on mobile these days. So important, guys. And then I want you to focus on the 80-20 of these listings. So if you're not familiar with the 80-20 principle, what that means is that 20% of the work that you do is gonna produce 80% of the results. And the flip side, 80% of the work that you do is going to produce the remaining 20%. So guys, in terms of Amazon listing creation and optimization, focus on the 20% that's going to do the 80% of the results. This is a great exercise. Go on Amazon shopping, browse through some listings, and just have a look and see what realistically is catching your eye. I can guarantee you that it's going to be A, your main image, B, your title, C, the price, and D, the reviews. Focus on those 4 things above all else. Go and try it and put yourself into the mind of the consumer and look at each of those things and look at your product, where it sits compared to your competitors, and really ask yourself, A, does the main image stand out? Does it provide, either is the product actually different from the rest? Is it a different color, different design, different functionality? Or even things like, is the photo at a different angle? Does it just show the product in a different way to how everybody else is showing it? The title, does it have what the customer is looking for in the first few words? And guys, key thing here is, on mobile, only the first 70 characters show up. The rest is all cut off. So if you're not showing the key value proposition of your product in those first 70 characters, it's a wasted opportunity. The price, and this is a topic for another video. I am putting out lots of videos every week, so if you are interested in this sort of stuff, do subscribe. But in general, your pricing needs to sort of fit around that like competitive range. If it's on the low end, depending on the product, if it's utilitarian, someone's just trying to like save money or like meet a budget, lower is good. Think about your customer, think about what your product is, and think about where that price needs to be to really stand out on that listing page. And the last thing is reviews, guys. Again, another topic for another video, but you need to have these reviews. Basically, like why would someone browsing these listings pick a listing with 0 reviews, for example? So focus on those 4 things. There is a lot to it. I am going to cover this in another video. So number 2, now that you know what those most important things are, don't be scared to invest in quality and get them done right. It will pay off for you, I can guarantee you. It is one of the biggest sort of fears or like points of hesitation that I had as a beginner, was actually paying a lot of money, for example, for product photography. I did do it myself, and you know what, guys? The results just reflected the fact that I'd done it myself. As we've said, the main image, the title, the price, the reviews. So the main image, pay the money to get it done properly. If you really don't have the money, do it yourself. But going back, put yourself in the eyes of your customer. And when you look at the images that you've done, the product photography images, particularly the main one, does it look better than the competition? Does it look the same? Or does it look worse? If it looks worse, go back, pay the money, get it done right. It will pay itself off so quickly, I guarantee it. Likewise, the title. Make sure that you've put the effort into doing your keyword research. Make sure that you have the most important keywords in those first 70 characters, or the customer's not going to see them. If they don't see them, they're probably not going to click on what you're offering. Reviews as well is another huge thing. It's a chicken and egg problem. You need the reviews to get the sales, because otherwise without reviews, you won't get sales, but you need sales to get more reviews. That's another topic for another video, but you need to have potentially spent money to get those first initial reviews. Don't be scared to invest in the quality. It will pay off very quickly for you. If you don't invest in quality, if you don't do those 20% of things correctly, you will not get the 80% of the results. Number 3, understand that your product, your first product, is the start of the game. It's not the end of the game. The first product is not your ticket to freedom. It's not the thing that's going to change your life. The first product is the one that gets your foot in the door. It gets you understanding the business process, the model, how it works. It probably gets you making some mistakes and learning from those mistakes. And then you can apply the learnings from that into your second product, your third product, 5th, 10th, 20th products. And by then, guys, you've got it. You've figured it all out. That's the end of the game. The first product, get something happening that will ideally generate you a good, sustainable profit and cash flow that you can then reinvest. But don't spend months worrying about this first product like it's going to change your life and therefore everything needs to be perfect. Because A, it's not going to be perfect, and B, that's not the one that will change your life. The ones after it will. And guys, give it time and it will happen. But just accept that it's the start, it's not the finish. Number 4, the process is simple, but it's hard. I always thought that the business process, the steps, so there are 5 steps that I'm gonna describe to you in the videos that I'm putting out and that most other people will describe as well. Those are the steps. It is legitimate, but it's so much harder than it sounds. There's, wow, 5 simple steps. I wish that I'd known that when I started, because there are so many mistakes to learn from. And of course, each mistake that you make is not just like an error or a failure. It's a beautiful opportunity to learn and improve the way that you do things. If you have the right mindset, it really is fantastic. But there are so many mistakes to make. And so I think I wish I knew when I was starting that it is about making those, ideally shortcutting that, learning from other people's mistakes. Please learn from my mistakes. But as much as possible, just like moving forwards and learning as you go and improving. Because 5 steps, there's a lot more to it than that might sound. Number 5, going out of stock really sucks. It sucked when I started, and it sucks today. So let me tell you why that is, why you should avoid it. A, it really hurts your rankings. So whenever you have a product selling on Amazon, it'll firstly hopefully be generating upwards momentum, so you'll be moving up in rankings, and then ideally you're gonna stay there. But anytime you shock that, if you pull your listing off or you run out of stock, Amazon no longer has that information about like how many people are buying your product. And so when you come back into stock, if it's within a few days, it's fine, maybe a week is okay. If it's like a month later, if you've been out of stock for 1 month or more, Amazon suddenly isn't so sure about your product anymore. And also a lot of things can have changed in the meantime. So like seasonality can change, maybe new competitors come in. So the whole system can have changed in quite a short period of time. And Amazon therefore takes time to give you that spot back. And so man, it's just a slow grind. You sort of have to do like almost a launch sometimes when you go out of stock. So it really hurts. Not only that, every day you're losing profit, and profit is why we do this. So that sucks as well. You're losing information as well, so you don't know what's happening with your product. Maybe those sales are gonna go down and you have no information. And so generally bad things happen when you run out of stock. It's a good problem because it means you sold all your inventory. It's a bad problem because of all these things I've just described. So be aware that you wanna minimize stockouts as much as possible, guys. Really, really important. Number 6. Find a community. Oh man, I wish I had started looking for other people doing the same thing as me the day that before I'd even started. I am a bit of a lone wolf. I tend to do things by myself. When I started my business, I moved overseas as well. And so I was really like in my own world doing this. And it was very scary, really, really scary, because until you start seeing those sales coming in and start building up that confidence, it's just difficult, guys. Find free Facebook groups. There's lots out there. Reach out to people in those groups. Don't just, post, add value, comment with people. Like you'll make these connections, but also reach out to people in private. If people are looking to make connections as well, send them a private message. Be like, hey, like let's have a voice call. Let's Skype. Let's do a mastermind, something like that. So I've got so many great connections just from doing that. And the beautiful thing is that like everyone is going through the same journey as you. Everyone is expressing or feeling those same emotions, the same like highs and lows of the business. And when you have people around there to share that with you and to act as like a support network, man, it really makes things so much easier. So it'll give you motivation, understanding, and just, yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Number 7, last thing, take action. I wish I had taken action sooner. So I originally found out about Amazon FBA, I think 2 years before I actually started with it. And when I look at how far I've come in less than 2 years between when I did start and today, it boggles my mind to think where I could be today if I had started 2 years earlier. I've talked about this in another video, but people are always asking a really common question is like, is it saturated? Is it too late? It's not too late, but every day that you delay, every week, every month, every year that you sit there and do nothing, it does become a bit more too late. And so if you forget everything else that I've just said, please, please, please take action today, move forward. The only way that you'll ever know if it was worth it for you is by taking action. So that's it, guys. The 7 things that I wish I knew when I was starting as a beginner in Amazon FBA. I hope you found this really useful. What I'd love for you to do, if you enjoyed this content and if you want more, as I put out weekly videos about Amazon FBA from my perspective as a 7-figure Amazon seller, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel to get these updates. And I would also love you to click the notification bell once you've done that so that you can get notified when I put out these videos. All right, guys, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next video.